Alrighty, good morning here, guys. So, I'm wearing a hat because my hair's a mess. I haven't taken a shower yet. I just dropped the kid off at school. I wanted to get this video out as quickly as I could. I was supposed to put this video out yesterday, but I was working too much. I didn't have time to make the video and edit it. So it's been a week, I guess a week and a day now, since my last video. And I think in the last one I was 90.7, and my goal for that week was exactly 90.7. So I kind of hit the nail on the head that this past week I've been doing much of the same stuff, and as of this morning, yesterday I was actually a little lower, but as of today I'm 89.4. So I've lost 1.3 kilos in a week, which is great. Things have stayed much the same. I'm still having the smoothies in the morning, and then I'm having a protein with vegetables at night. The something I wanted to touch upon actually is on the Sunday. I think I dropped down to something like 90.1 or 90.3 maybe, and on the Monday that jumped up to 90.5. Yeah, it was probably 90.1 on the Sunday. It jumped up to 90.5, which can be discouraging. That was the first jump that I'd seen. It had consistently gone down day by day before that, but then the next day, on the Tuesday, it had started going down again. I think some of that's due to water weight. It might also be due to, on Sunday night, I had a big meal of, but it was just the vegetables and protein again. But I had a lot of vegetables. I had like a lot of broccoli and carrots and asparagus, and there was just a lot. And I felt pretty bloated after it as well. So I don't know if that affected the scales the next day, but it might have. Portions are definitely important. I could barely eat it all, but I was really hungry that day for some reason. Anyway, what have I done in the past week? I've continued 10,000 steps. Again, not consistently. Like I'd say I'm getting every day between 7 and 10,000, and then for a few days, maybe 3 of the days, I got over 10,000, maybe around 11 or 12 max, I think. I'm also still doing the VR thing, so I'm doing the Punch Fit, and I found a new game that I'm playing now called Thrill of the Fight, which is kind of like a more realistic boxing game, and I highly recommend that. That was even more tiring than Punch Fit because it's much faster paced, and it involves moving a lot more, I think. The Punch Fit, you're most on in the same place. You're moving and you're swinging, but with the Thrill of the Fight, you're moving a lot more because you're trying to dodge punches and trying to get more power into your punches as well, because it registers swing speed and stuff like that. I'll post an image of that here, I guess. And what else have I been doing? I guess I've been to the driving range a couple times for golf, but that doesn't really count so much, I don't think. Although every little helps, obviously. I've tried to maintain I think it's called NEAT, where your daily activities, you make a couple changes. For example, instead of taking the elevator, I'm taking the stairs to my apartment now. And I don't know how much of a difference that makes, but I'm sure it makes some, and those small changes add up eventually. So yeah, 89.4 today. Next week, hopefully 88.4 would, I mean, I'll aim for 88.4, but I've consistently been around the 0.7 area. This week I have been lower than 0.4. I think I got to 0.3 at one point. Maybe that was yesterday. Yesterday I might have been 0.3. Today 0.4. But I'll aim for 88.4 next week anyway. So yeah, I've reached my goal for this week. What has changed apart from the games? Oh, something I wanted to touch on actually, which isn't a massive change, but it's something that I didn't know, that people who drink the smoothies might want to know. I mentioned probably in my first video that I was adding banana to my smoothies. I usually have like a blueberry smoothie with, the zero fat yogurt and the milk and whatnot, and then I'd add a banana, and then I changed to the banana protein. Now, what I found out about bananas is that if you add them to smoothies with berries, they can negate a lot of the positive impacts that the berries have. I don't think nutritionally, but there is some effect that the berries have, a positive effect on the brain, and there's a chemical in bananas that negates that effect. So you might want to look into that. I've forgotten the exact word for it, but maybe I'll find out and talk about it in the future. But in the protein powder, that's not the case. So I'm continuing with the 1 scoop of protein, and something else. I felt muscle fatigue this week, especially in my right arm, and I think maybe even in my legs a little bit. But I have been walking a lot, so that could explain that. But I was a little bit worried about it, and so I've decided to up my protein intake throughout the day. So now I'm having the smoothie, and this only happened yesterday that I decided this. But the plan is to have the smoothie in the morning, and then maybe around 2 o'clock, have tuna or some other high protein food, and just a snack, just a small amount, maybe a tin of tuna, and you can throw in whatever you want it with, like you could put some mayonnaise in with some sweet corn if you wanted to. I'm not entirely sure what I'll do yet. I don't like the idea of the extra calories for the mayonnaise because it is quite a bit. But we'll see. I think I'd be perfectly happy with just eating tuna. It's only small, and it doesn't take long to get. What is it? It's like 24 grams of protein or something in that. So that's easy enough to do. Yesterday, because I decided to get more protein and I hadn't prepared a meal, I went to the store and I looked at the protein bars, and there was a 27-gram protein bar that I got, but it had something like 350 calories in it, which is insane for just a bar of essentially chocolate and cereal, I think. So I will never be doing that again. But I got an extra 27 grams of protein from that, I guess. And then last night I had the chicken, which is, I don't know, I think it's around 50 grams of protein. So I'm going to look into that more, but I think tuna as a little snack during the day is really good for protein. I want to start maintaining my muscles. I tried to do, obviously I'm doing the boxing thing, and that helps. I'm doing, I want to say I'm doing push-ups, but with full range of motion, with proper push-ups where your chest is supposed to touch, you're supposed to be fully outstretched, and then your chest is supposed to touch the floor, and then you go back up, and your chest is supposed to touch the floor, but not your groin. And I don't think your head's supposed to touch the floor. Maybe your nose if you want to push up that way. But I got down to touching my chest to the floor, and that was it. I did one push-up. I did one full push-up, and then went back down to do a second and couldn't. And that is honestly ridiculous. That's crazy. I've never done push-ups that way before. Like you see people do push-ups and they don't touch the ground with their chest. They just do like little push-ups. So maybe my form has never been very good, and maybe it's still not good now. But yeah, I'm trying to do little things like that. The push-ups, I'm buying some barbells for my arms. I'm not trying to build muscle. This is the thing. Now you can, and building muscle whilst losing weight is apparently a very good thing. But I've tried that before, and as I've said in previous videos, I failed. So I just want to lose the fat right now. I want to lose the fat and just maintain my muscles, because it's unhealthy to lose all your musculature. I don't want to be losing weight in muscle. I want my body to be tapping into fat stores, and to do that, I have to use my muscles to encourage my body not to eat them, basically. Now, the berries and bananas, we went through the protein bars. Oh, sleep. Something I wanted to throw in here. Now, I am a very bad sleeper and always have been. I think I mentioned that in a previous video. I wanted to show you what I use to help me sleep. I have tinnitus, so when I try to sleep, I have like a constant ringing in my ears, and I can hear it during the day, but it's extremely loud when I'm trying to sleep. So I bought these. These are, I don't know, I'll get them close to the camera. I don't know if that will focus or not. But these are is it A20s? A120s? I think they're the A120s or A20s. Sleep headphones, and they're absolutely great. I got these, the A20s, yeah, the Soundcore A20s these are. And they fit into the ear, and they fit so nicely that I guess maybe you can see here. They fit so nicely that you barely feel them when you sleep, and you can sleep on your side, and they just don't feel like they're pushing into your ear at all. And they have multiple modes. They have like sleep modes, and you can put different sounds on. I use like a rain sound, so that I can ignore the tinnitus and get to sleep. And the rain sound works really well. So yeah, it's just something, if you want to check them out. Not sponsored, of course, but highly recommend them. Maybe I'll throw a link to their store page in the description. I'll also throw a link for the boxing thing. There's not a lot to go through this week. It's much of the same. So thanks for watching and keeping up. And again, thanks for the positive comments. I got a bunch of positive comments on Reddit from the last video, and that's nice and that's encouraging. Let me just have a think if there's anything else. I don't think there is. No. Okay, so I'll see you guys next week, and hopefully by next week I will be 88.4 kilograms. That's, if I'm 88.7, I'll be fine with that, but hopefully 88.4 or below. You never know, right? Everybody have a good day, have a good weekend. We're heading into the weekend, and I'll see you next week.